Geek Speak show with our friends from Wynonna Earp. We had a new friend come in last season, and here he is. You know him as Jeremy. Varun Saranga with us. Varun, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Love the fact you're still sporting the stash.
Yeah. You know what? I couldn't let go of it. I was really holding on to it.
Whose idea was it? Was that yours?
Well, I sort of proposed it to Emily early on in the second season, and she's like, you know what, we'll play around with that idea. And then I came back from India with like a beard, and I'm like, well, how about now? And she's like, okay, we can do a full stash. But little did I know, they cut it exactly like Doc Holliday, and I had to wear that for 4 months in a function. It was very odd.
Okay, speaking of very odd, we had a kind of odd conversation about the stash in season 1 with Tim.
Yeah.
When he saw that, was he like, that's my thing? He's like, what?
No, in fact, he really embraced it. It was probably his favorite thing in the world, us going to breakfast together and having the waiter always being like, is this a style choice or what's actually happening here?
Yeah, so again, you came in season 2. Obviously, the cast was already established and everything. How welcoming were they to you when you came in?
I love this cast. Honestly, I think they're some of the best people I've ever met, and it's just been a highly enjoyable experience. Like, I would go back year after year. They'll have me.
Yeah, and they put you through a lot of stuff in season 2.
Yeah.
You've been frozen and stuff. Like, what was your favorite or maybe not so favorite part of that?
My favorite part would have to be, I guess, all like the fun comedic stuff they give Jeremy to do, like all the physical comedy. But then it tipped over into us getting pulled around like by a stunt team on wires. And, like the 3 boys get stuck together. Mm-hmm. And that was a painful experience because we were just like flying around and hitting into each other.
Yeah.
But it was still super fun at the end of the day.
Yeah. Talk about the comedy, because when we're watching the episode, it looks just natural. Is all of it the script, or are you guys just throwing your own stuff?
All the mind of Emily Andras. Like, I'm going to reassure you, that's 100% her. Like, rarely do we ad-lib too much. Occasionally Mel will, and occasionally I will too, but very rarely, because the writing is just so good.
Yeah.
That it's just like it just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Now, we're at San Diego Comic-Con. As we're recording this, we've seen the season 3 premiere on SYFY.
Okay, perfect.
So I know you can't say what's happening, but tease what we can expect for Jeremy in season 3.
I want to tease like everything because it's all really good stuff.
Wait. Tease is okay. Spoiling?
No spoiling, I know. Okay. All I can say is potato.
Potato?
Yes.
Not potato?
Yeah.
Okay.
Potato.
Well, I guess this time next year we'll know what that means.
Yeah, exactly.
Varun Saranga, everybody. Thanks a lot.
I see you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So going on talking about season 3 for Wynonna Earp, SYFY's Wynonna Earp, we saw the premiere a week ago as we're recording this. With me is, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Chantel Riley.
Remember that name, new character, somebody you're gonna, will we love this character or hate her? What do you play? Good, bad, or?
I can't say. You know what? I feel like the fans and the audience will have to decide on their own. I think it's going to be like on either end of the fence. Maybe I'll say that. I'll give that much.
When you come on to a role like that, into a show like this already established 2
Yeah.
seasons in, does Emily sit you down and say, well, this is what your character's going to be, or are you just as surprised as we are when you get the scripts?
Well, she did give me a little, backstory to who I was and my history. But then when I got the script, I was like, oh, you guys are taking it there. So I like every day that we got a new script or whatever, new episode, it was just mind-blowing every time. So the season's going to be crazy.
Have you done like genre kind of shows like this before?
No. So it was really exciting.
So, I mean, without spoiling what may happen or may not happen in season 3, like how was it working on a genre show like this?
It was something I've always wanted to do, but never thought I'd get a chance to do.
Yeah.
So it was so exciting to just be completely different from what I've played, and just be that, to be a vampire. Like, I never would have thought I'm going to end up being a vampire. So it was so exciting, and it was challenging even to do some research on tarot reading and just to get into the mind of who Kate was.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that's not a spoiler. I mean, everybody watches like,
It's-
oh, don't say that. You've seen the season premiere. We know it's vampires. It's not a spoiler. Didn't give anything away. Although, I mean, again, let me try one more time. Good, bad, your character?
Can't say. You got to decide.
Yeah, you got to watch.
You got to watch. You got to decide on your own.
Yeah, well, before you go, let them know where they can follow you on social media. Anything.
Yeah. Please follow me on my Instagram and Twitter at Chantel_Riley.
There you go. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
It's the Geek Speak Show.
3, 2, 1.
Action.
It's the Geek Speak Show,
It's
the
Geek
musical
Speak
episode.
Show.
Okay, we got to start there from last season. The singing.
Oh.
What,
Feels like an eternity ago, doesn't
well,
it?
I guess I should ask you, what can't you do?
Oh, mate, that's so kind. Thank you.
No, but I mean, obviously, but did you have a lot of fun doing that one?
I did. I had a lot of fun. I think that Emily gave me all of the gifts last season. She basically just was like, here you go, do this, have a go at that, have a go at that. And I feel very fortunate to be in a TV show where they kind of cater to my strengths.
Yeah. Speaking of your strengths, one of the we were talking with I was gonna call him Jeremy. He is Jeremy with Varun a little bit.
Indeed, yes.
That was the funniest part in season 2 when you actually use your real accent and you're like, that's a fake British accent. That was one of the funniest things.
It was good, yeah.
But let's go into season 2. We can't talk season 3 yet, unless you wanna.
Soon though,
give us
guys, tune in because it's
We'll try at the end, see if she
exciting.
can give us something. But season 2, Waverly, more than any other character, really went on a really emotional arc. So now that you can talk of playing that arc.
Yeah, I think season 2, to be honest with you, every season Waverly goes on like a big old journey. I think that it's one of my favorite things about playing the character. She's at such an impressionable age. I think we can all agree that between 20 and 20 onwards, you really learn a lot about yourself. So season 1, obviously, the coming out story was I was so determined to make sure I tell the story in the right way. But in season 2, the thing that really that I put a lot of pressure on myself for was actually telling the story about her background and understanding what that feels like if you don't know your lineage and you're trying to find the answers. But it was a big emotional season, and I really worked hard because I wanted people who had experienced that to be able to relate and to tell the truth of it ultimately.
Okay, so I mean, real quick, in one word, describe Wave's journey in 3.
In season 3?
Yeah.
I have this word that I want to say so bad. This has like come up in a few interviews, and I'm like, cannot tell you because it's too telling. But I will say parents.
There you go. Again, another reason to watch it. Thanks a
Cool.
lot.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
So going on with the Wynonna Earp presser here at San Diego Comic-Con. With us is Kat Barrell. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Good.
So from my point of view as a viewer,
Yes.
watching Officer Haught go through what she did in season 2, that was one of the most, I'll call it an emotional roller coaster, where season 1 ended on, everything's happy, they're great, but it's like Emily did everything to keep you guys apart through the whole season. For you going through it, how was that?
I think I really enjoyed the challenges of the script in season 2 because I think, it doesn't make very interesting television. Everything is just happy and easy all the time. So I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was realistic. You struggle with your job, you struggle with your relationships, and I think it was just really nice to see this character going through some very genuine challenges.
Yeah, and as we're recording this, we've seen the premiere for season 3. We know what's coming, the vampires. Tease a little bit, if you can, where we're going to see Haught going through.
Where we're going to see, well, I think the lovely thing about Haught this season is we get to see them in an established relationship. They know where they stand with each other, and now it's time to move forward and actually work together. So Nicole is really going to start crossing over into dealing with some of the supernatural cases, whereas she's really been kind of separated from the group before this point. So she's really been working on more of the more like everyday cases of the citizens of Purgatory, and now she's crossing over and she's coming into Waverly's world. So it's very interesting to see these women kind of like negotiating what it is to have a relationship, but also be working together, and also be in a very dangerous environment. environment where the stakes are always really high.
Yeah, let's talk about what happens when the cameras go off. I mean, since I met you guys in season 1, it's one of the most fun interviews I ever do with you guys. Is it just as fun or more fun or crazier when you guys are off the set?
I mean, we have a really good time. We have a really beautiful cast, and I think it all stems down from our showrunner, Emily, who is adamant about only hiring nice people. If you're not nice, you will not be on this show. And we've had actors that they wanted to put on the show that people had a bad experience with, and they're not on the show. And that's, I think, the way it is, and I think that's really important, and it serves as like a beacon for, I think, how things should be cast, because at the end of the day, Emily's like, I don't care how talented someone is, if you're an asshole, we don't want you in our group, because we have a great thing going, and everyone's very kind and supportive, and we love each other, and we like hanging out with each other. And when you're in such a high-stakes environment and pressed for time and a high-stress job, you need to love your coworkers, and we genuinely do.
Yeah, that's the rule here on our show, actually. That's why I love everybody that's here.
That's awesome.
I mean, Emily's fantastic and everything, but if you could,
Yes.
what would you like to see as a storyline for your character in season 3 or beyond?
Wow, season 3 or beyond. I mean, I have to say, my character storyline in season 3, I am so thrilled with. So I don't know how much I would want to change. I love the struggles that Nicole's going to go through, but I also love she has some really big triumphs, both personally but especially professionally this season. And I think she's really challenged a lot, and I think she rises to a lot of those challenges. And I was really happy to see her get more responsibility. I wouldn't really change much.
So there you go. Season 3 coming pretty soon. Watch to see what happens. Thanks a lot, Cap.
Thank you.
What's up? It's the Geek Speak Show with Shamier Anderson from Wynonna Earp. How's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for having me back.
Thanks for being back. Now, speaking of being back, season 2, Dolls he went on a little arc where we were kind of hoping he would be there and see more of him. For you, after the first season, it was the will they, won't they, and then Doc. You know what happens with Doc after that. How did you see all that?
It's a lot. It's a lot to look at, you know. But, I mean, just overall, from what you're saying, this show has taken so many twists and turns, and it's been so incredible to be on this incredible journey. And I just can't wait for you guys to see season 3 and where, you know, those turns and plot twists go.
Yeah, adding Varun and Rosita's character in season 2, they just seamlessly meshed in. For you guys, how easy was it to welcome them into the family?
Oh, Varun has personal relationships outside of the show, so we knew Varun from before. But he's incredible. I mean, what's hard not to like about Varun? He's so likable, you know? And it's a huge reason why he's so welcoming and why the fans, you know, welcome him with open arms.
Earlier we were talking with Varun, we were talking about the comedy between you guys, how it's just natural, it flows a lot, and he said a lot of it was Emily's script, but did any of it was just you guys just going off on it?
Yeah, we improv all the time, you know, especially Melanie. It's just kind of, we're 3 seasons in now. We have a good grip of the characters, so we want to, you know, give some flavor within reason, but we've been, you know, a lot of it's improv and, you know, just being present, and as long as the story and the plot is being driven, Emily and the writing team's cool.
This is one of those San Diego Comic-Con yes/no questions. Leave it at that. Yeah. Has Emily told you what Dolls is? Is he a big fire-breathing dragon? What is it? Do you know?
I think he's a lizard-ish. I don't know. Figure it out. We're still figuring it out. It's just TV. Gotta figure it out.
Yeah. So again, tease it. Don't give anything away. What can we expect for Dolls in season 3?
Maybe we could get the Geek Speak show on season 3, or season 4 maybe if we get picked up.
No, when you get picked up. No, if. When you get picked up.
When.
Think positive.
What we'll be doing at the panel, announcing picked up or not, who knows? But we'll find out first here on the Geek Speak Show. Boom!
Mic drop. Don't drop it. Hey, look who's here. Melanie Scrofano from Wynonna Earp.
That's me.
How's it going? At this point, you've been here to a few of these. You're a Comic-Con vet.
Yep. This is number 3.
Yeah. But also, but more importantly, the show just keeps getting bigger and bigger, the fandom bigger and bigger. What's that mean to you?
It's still, every time somebody's like, I just started watching the show on Twitter and I really on, you know, wherever they watch it, and they find me on Twitter and they're like, I really like it.
They know
I'm
what
like,
you mean.
oh my God, you just found it? That's awesome. Like, so it's encouraging to know that people keep coming into the family, you know, like, let's just keep raking in those chips.
I gotta give kudos. I'll say it to Tim when he comes on to you. That in the finale, seeing when the baby's being given away, that was one of the most emotional scenes I've ever seen. Even I teared. I mean, like I told,
Well,
like
you
I
have
told
a
you,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah,
so
you get it.
hits. But even those who don't, you guys did it fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, it was. When did you find out you were pregnant, and when and what was it like? Do I tell Emily, or how did that all happen?
Yeah, no, huge I had this whole, you know how you have a fight with somebody in your head before?
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't fighting with Emily in my head, but I was fighting with everyone else. I was like, I have rights. I don't know. I just thought I was going to get everybody fired. I was so scared. I was worried that they would hate me. I was worried that I was worried that I would lose everything that we worked so hard to build. And it only got better. And it was really encouraging because I think a lot of people feel that way, men and women,
Yeah.
who are trying to have a family and have the job that they love. They have to struggle with that fear. And so from me to you, sometimes it works out very, very well, even better than you think.
Now, when you found out, had you been renewed yet or not yet?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
We didn't know.
2 surprises.
Yeah, so we didn't know, and so it was just like, oh, I guess we're not getting a season 2 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and then when you did, well, I know Emily and probably Beau, but Emily for sure, they probably started writing everything. Was she
Yes.
like, no, I gotta rewrite it all, or?
She literally was like, well, this goes in this. Yeah, they had worked hard. They had worked hard, spent a lot of time and come up with concept. And I think maybe some of it they were able to salvage and then just write the pregnancy into it. But then, of course, the pregnancy and all that it means in this mythology sort of ended up taking it to a new place.
Now, on the show, Wynonna's belly bump, was that you or prosthetic, or was that you?
My bump?
Yeah.
Oh, that
in
was
the show.
all me. That was.
They let you do all the stunts and everything?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to not do the stunts. Yeah. I said whatever is our stunt coordinator, Steve McMichael, and his wife, we're a great team because I said they have 5 kids between the two of them, and I said whatever Leslie, his wife, would be able to do as a stunt woman if she were pregnant, I want to do. Like, if her body would physically allow it to happen and it's realistic for her, then make me do it. And they did, and it was great.
So let's talk the show again. Well, it is San Diego Comic-Con. We can't give you anything. As we're recording this, everybody out there, has seen the premiere for Season 3. So don't give anything away. Tease what we can expect in Season 3.
I'm stealing Shamier's word. It's unexpected. Emily gives you what you didn't think would happen, and then she tops herself. And she's a brave woman.
Yeah, so can't wait to see it. Season 3 coming soon. Thanks, Melanie.
Thank you.
Look who I found. Doc Holliday, Tim Rozon. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing really well.
So this is what, your 3rd Comic-Con that you
This
do?
is number 3.
Yeah,
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, I remember way back when when the show first premiered, this is your first Comic-Con and you were wide-eyed like everybody else. Now that you're a comm vet, what's it like being out here?
Exact same. Still wide-eyed, freaking out. I just saw Andrew Lincoln before. I geeked out pretty hard. Jim Lee said hi to me at breakfast. That was the best thing ever.
Well, see, that's when you know you've made it, when they
I
are
know,
saying hi
that's
to
what
you.
I was saying. It was like, I was like, okay, I'm good now. I remember 3 years ago I was meeting Jim Lee, and then this morning at breakfast, Jim Lee said hi, Tim, and I was like inside. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the answer is, well, yeah, I love it, but I mean, when you see the fandom, the show's fandom just grow and grow and grow,
Yeah.
how does that make you feel?
I'm happy you asked that, because for me, I love that this show is getting more successful, but for me, I love that the fandom is getting bigger and bigger, because this fandom is so needed in this time. In the world we live in. This is a fandom that's built on kindness and acceptance, and it's just a safe place for people to be. And sometimes it feels like right now in the world that, you know, there's more hate than love, and like hate is winning, but it's not. And it's within this fandom sometimes that I'm inspired, and this fandom kind of grounds me and reminds me, like, no, love's winning, because I see it happen within this fandom. I get to witness it firsthand, we get to go to Earper conventions, where these conventions for our show, which, first of all, insane to think that would happen.
Yeah.
But then to be a part of it and see all this love and acceptance, I'm just constantly inspired and in awe and humbled by this fandom, and I'm so happy I get to be a part of the fandom.
Speaking of love and emotion, I got to tell you, because I talked to Mel a minute ago, and I told her, kudos, congratulations, great job on the finale when the baby was given away.
Yeah.
That was one of the most emotional scenes I've seen on television. I even shared it to you.
Thank you very much. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a great job on that.
Yeah, thanks. There's another one of those scenes this year, let me tell you, that might rival that one.
Okay, well, you brought it up, so I know you can't say anything,
Yeah.
but tease what we can expect in season 3.
Season 3, I'll say this, next week's episode, nobody better miss, because it will be the most talked about episode in the history of Wynonna Earp ever. At 3:02, next week's episode, I'm not joking. Do not miss next week's episode.
You heard it directly from Doc Holliday. Do not miss that episode. Tim Rozon, thanks a lot, Tim.
Yeah, of course, thank you.
Hey, what's going on? Look who's here with us, a friend of ours now. Beau Smith, Wynonna's creator. Beau, how's it going?
Things are going good. Staying out of trouble. I can still run a little bit, so it's not too bad.
Well, let me start with this. I mean,
Yeah.
this is now your 3rd San Diego Comic-Con, and you've done other cons and the Earper cons, as Tim was saying. When you see the fandom just grow and grow and grow with every season, how does that make you feel?
Makes me want to get urine tests on all of them to make sure that they're okay, because I think about something that I created 20 years ago in my head, which is a pretty twisted place to be, and then all these people like it. A lot of it is I gave a body over of this project, Wynonna Earp, to Emily Andras 4 years ago, and she's taken that body, put oxygen in it, and literally has paraded her around the world. It's a wonderful thing to come to San Diego Comic-Con. This is like my 26th, and then all of a sudden to see my character on the side of a bus going down through town, see posters everywhere. It's unbelievable.
And I can tell you, I mean, at least in my household, I have an 11-year-old daughter. She looks up the mail, but she loves Wynonna. It's quality time for us when we sit there and watch the show. So great job, it's Emily and them too, but creating her and what it's done.
When I created it 20 years ago, I wanted to do a female character, but I wanted to do one that was 40 to 45 years old, at the head of her game. And back then, it wasn't so much girl power, it was respect.
Yeah.
I wanted a female character to be respected and to be shown at, at 40, 45, which everyone was doing comic books with girls 19 years old. Well, there's 40, 45-year-old women who, to me, can't get more attractive than that, and for Emily to take that then, she goes, okay, you've done that, that's great. Now it's flip-flopping. She's 27 and messing up, just starting out. It was brilliant. Right then, I knew my character was in wonderful hands.
Yeah, speaking of being in wonderful hands, I'm sure in the beginning, Emily may have consulted on you, like, how is this, how is that? At this point, do you just step back and enjoy the ride?
I actually did that an hour after reading Emily's pitch and her Wynonna manual that she had made. Mm-hmm. Most creators don't. They raise hell. I read that and I said, no, I have taken Wynonna Earp 20 years, I've taken her to this level. I said, to make that change to worldwide so other people can enjoy this character, you step back, you have faith in Emily's brilliance and creativity, let her ride. And that's pretty much, every once in a while, she'll ask a little this, a little that, but bottom line is she took it and she flew. It's trust.
Were you the one that asked for the cameo in season 2, or how did that happen?
I look in the mirror every day. I would never ask for a cameo. They wanted to do that. They wanted to make this kind of a reoccurring thing. So I had 17 seconds, and Ron Murphy, the director, and Tim Rozon kind of came up with the idea. I thought I would just be in the background, doing something. They go, no, you're handling this creepy doll. Then Doc walks in, and you're trying to walk out. And you give each other the stink eye, and then we're going to build upon that. Any other cameos you do, we're going to build on. So I figure by the end of it's all done, Doc and I either are fist fighting or we're drinking beers in the saloon, one of the two.
Wait, so you're saying there's more cameos coming?
I sure hope so. I'm addicted now, so, it's kind of, my family loves it more than I do.
Well, I'm going to say, actually, you're becoming the Stan Lee of the Wynonna Earp universe. You're going to, or the Alfred Hitchcock, whatever you want, you're going to be there. Look for Beau Smith in season 3 and probably beyond.
If I can live to be 95, that's a long time to torment my friends. It's good.
I got to bring something back. If you remember, way back when I was in WonderCon Los Angeles before the show premiered.
Yeah.
We were talking about the show, and I said, if you said actually, if you get a season 2, you'll be on it naked. What happened?
It's a Canadian, what do you call it, the Canadian rights and stuff. They said they can't put farm animals on there without any clothes, so I missed out on that. Oh, it would have been a sight. Trust me.
Well, I guess we got to take it to Netflix somewhere else where we can get away with something like that.
Hey, we get 15 seasons. You never know.
Yeah, there you go. Again, it's always fun. Post-Smith. Thanks, Beau.
Oh, man. Always a pleasure. Seriously.
Likewise.
Always a pleasure.
Last but definitely not least, save the best for last. Let's
Oh,
put it
sure,
that way.
yeah. Very smooth. I like that.
Emily Andrews with us. How you doing, Emily?
I am doing amazing. I'm at Comic-Con in season 3 of Wynonna Earp. How could I be anything but spoiled rotten?
Yeah, and we haven't seen you actually. The first time we talked about it was before Wynonna even premiered
Oh, wow.
back in WonderCon.
Were you like, this show sounds insane?
Yes.
It is insane. You were right.
Now, for you, seeing it 3 years now,
Yeah,
the fandom just grow and grow and grow. How does that make you feel?
I feel like I'm still being punked. I'm not sure I believe you're even actually taping this. I feel like this could all be a very long con. Look, it's beyond my wildest dreams. As a writer, what could you hope for more than for people to love what you've created and fall in love with it? It's a dream come true. It's going to be pretty hard to top, I would say.
Yeah. Now, Mel and I talked about how the pregnancy and how it was handled.
Right.
Like when she told you,
Yeah.
how did you take it?
I am not an actress, so my poker face is not exceptional, but I can not think of someone I adore more than Melanie Scrofano. And spoiler alert, I'm a woman, and I have a mother in this business, and I knew how terrified Mel was to tell me and how worried she was about the show and our crew. So I'm a problem solver. That's my job as a producer. I knew we could fix it, and I knew I was going to fight to the death to make sure we did right by her. So I knew I had one choice, which was we were going to play her pregnant as a superhero. I went into SYFY and said, this is the only way we can do it. We're not going to have her hide behind laundry baskets or grocery carts. And SYFY said, we love it. We're in. We just want to do it. This sounds amazing. So it actually turned out to be kind of a privilege. It was a challenge that became a blessing.
Yeah.
I would prefer if no one else got pregnant. I'm talking specifically to the boys, Dolls and Doc, but I'll handle it. It'll be fine, yeah.
Well, it worked perfectly. Now, Mel was also saying, because we asked her about the belly pump, was that her doing the stunt? She said yes. She says yes. How easy was it to let her do the stunts?
It was terrifying to let her do the stunts. Look, Mel is a fighter and a survivor, and she doesn't want to be fussed over. She's an extraordinary person anyway. To be the lead in an action show, you have to do 18 hours, and then you have to go home and learn lines and work out and make sure you're taking care of yourself. We had the privilege of having a stunt coordinator, Steve McMichael, who has 5 kids, so he was very excited to make sure we could do some stunts, really thinking about how a pregnant woman would fight in a way that was safe for Mel.
Right.
But I'd be lying if every day I wasn't shoving down in the back of my brain what could go wrong. But we just have such a loving crew. We trust Mel. I made her promise to tell me if she wasn't feeling well about it all, and luckily we seem to have gotten away with it. So this year we really pushed her because she's not pregnant.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's end on that one. We're at Comic-Con as we're recording this, so we've seen, or you guys have seen, the premiere for Season 3. Tease what we can expect to see in Season 3.
So much, so much. Every episode is something that makes you cry, makes you laugh, and will make you gasp. Huge cliffhanger. I would say the next 2 episodes are unlike anything else we've ever done. Episodes 2 and 3 are incredibly challenging and ambitious, and we're going to be talking about them for a long time. It's a wild ride, y'all, this season. It's the team finally coming together and kicking some butt, but with huge consequences and mega choices and hilarious penis jokes one after another. So basically business as usual, but a little bit heightened for
Yeah,
Wynonna.
I was going to say, so definitely look for it. Season 3, you know where to find it. SYFY, Wynonna Earp. Thanks, Emily.
Thank you for having us.